We're gonna do the weekly review once again as every Monday, and I want to go through all the chart. I have to say I spent like an hour and a half this morning going through all the pairs I follow, looking at the zones once again, looking if they were all right, adjusting a demo account and a live account I have with robots. So that's been a good task, but I want to go through the charts right now, and I'll share with you today kind of how I trade also, because as you might have known, last week I published a new course. Released a new course about exactly what I trade called the Bunchband Reversal Strategy. It's going to be linked below if you want to get the course. It's totally free. I want to prime myself on giving you, as always, free content, more free content than what others are going to charge for. And that's about it for this course. So it's going to be linked below, of course, if you want to get it. And I would highly recommend you get it. I think we had like 500 people getting it the first week, which is pretty awesome. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, we'll jump now. And you can let me know in the chat if you're watching this live. I would appreciate. Let me know where you're from. But for now, and I'll probably go back in your comments soon. For now, I just want to go through the chart. We'll go, as always, through all the pairs, or maybe only the important ones. Pairs this week are not at some levels. And keep in mind, you do your own stuff on the side, your own analysis, of course. But I'm doing this to show you what I'm going to trade, what I look for. And you do your own tasks on the side. And then you can compare if you want. What have you done different? You can comment in the chat box for this also, if there's anything you think is different. And this week is especially important because last week we had a pretty big crash, or a flash crash of the market. And there's some zones that have been broken, some zones that are really nicely arranged now. So we'll go through that. The first pair I want to look at is AUD and ZD. And this pair is, we'll just make this bigger, coming back to a support area, see at 1.04. And you can go back, you can see that like over time, here price touches a couple of times on that zone. So I'm going to look for bullish trades there. Now, because this crash here last week, we're not there yet. Okay, we'll have to wait for price to come closer to this level. And basically what I did is I'm going to trade pretty much if price is within this this range over here. Okay, so like from here to there, that's probably what I'm going to be trading. Okay, below here it's like too low. Or yeah, and then above that's kind of too early. So that's kind of the range I look for. But you can look for something different. I just want to wait for price to hit this level here. And it's going to be, I believe, a pretty strong level that we'll see if price also not. Okay, and keep in mind that this has to be aligned with what you trade also yourself. You cannot just trade this only, you have to trade some setup and put some things around it, which we talk exactly about that in the course. But I'll show you an example when we get to some pairs with example of setup. Okay, there's a few, so we'll do that later. The other pair I want to talk about is AUD USD, which is also like the other one before, coming back to a support area. Okay, at 0.70, a round number, which I kind of like. It's gonna be awesome. And so we touched there a few times in the past. It's a pretty strong level in my opinion. And now we're not there yet, of course, because we had this big wick last week, and that means that we have to watch the chart more closely. Okay, we'll see what price does later on. But for now, I'm just going to look for bullish up there when price comes a little bit closer to the zone. And yeah, maybe like on a retrace of this big candlestick. So if you look on the, and this is important, if you look on the lower time frame, okay, you'll see how price kind of went down here, made this big wick, and then pull back up. Okay. Now, most people that would see this, they would buy like here. They would say, oh, I buy this right now. I want to buy it. It's a big move up. But in my view, I would actually wait for having a move a little bit to the downside here, and then buying this pair, okay? Because first of all, we have a pullback. In my opinion, it's like better. And second of all, well, we are going to look for setup with the Bollinger Band. Okay, so when price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Band, and does in my, so what I trade is like an engulfing candle there. Okay, so when you have this pullback engulfing candle over here with the Bollinger Band, better sign in my opinion that you can have a move to the upside, as opposed to like buying now on the impulse when everyone is buying. That's not, in my opinion, good. Okay, so you might rather wait to have your nice setup and then look for a move to the upside on this pair. Okay, because it's really at a cool level, but you have to wait and check this out more closely. Okay, CAT CHF is doing the same. I think here we might have a setup on the weekly chart. I'm just going to verify this. But I never trade a weekly chart. It's just that now it's kind of, yeah, this is like pretty well arranged. So if you want to trade the weekly chart, here's the setup you could take. I don't, but you could. basically we look for, let's just zoom in. Price came back. We said this was an area here of support, okay, at 0.74 to 0.72 or so. And now price coming back to retest the support. Came back there a few past. And now we get this, like it just broke a little bit, but didn't close really below. Now we get this cooling off in candle here. So what I would do is I want to enter above the high, stop loss below the low, and reward to risk of 3-to-1 and 1-to-1. So 1-to-1 will be around here, can be easily triggered. 3-to-1 will be close to here, I believe. Okay, so a little bit more far. But I don't trade the weekly chart. I find it too long and too boring. But you could trade it if you want to trade that chart. Yeah, that's totally possible. But for me, I'll skip this one. And what I'll do is I'll basically wait for... Now we had this first big move on the weekly chart, which on the lower time frame is going to look like a pretty big move too. Okay, so look at this. This is the engulfing candle right there. Okay, so this over here. So what you do is you wait for a pullback or retracement. Yeah, pullback. And then you wait for your setup with the Bollinger Band. Okay, that will be what I look for. So far we had nothing because this engulfing candle, this candle here was way too big. Okay, too big of an engulfing candle, so I don't trade that. But if we had a better setup, I would trade it for sure. Okay, on the pullback. So a little bit like we had over, well, no, not this, but yeah, we didn't have it set up there. So, but that's it for this pair. Okay, so really cool level in my opinion. Next pair is Euro AUD. This pair is approaching, and this is also a pretty cool setup. This pair is approaching a resistance area at 1.65, 1.60. Okay, it's quite a big zone because, like, if we look at this pair on a bigger time frame, in the past we reversed like from here all the way to here, and this pair is kind of used to big wicks at these levels. So look at this big wick over here, big wick again over here. And now we're coming back with this thing here. So pretty much the same. So that's I think a pretty good sign. Now your job is to look for setup on the lower time frame, and I'm gonna look at the lower time frame 1 hour chart, forward chart, to look for my bearish setups. Okay. So basically with the Bollinger Band again, you look for price hitting the upper band of the Bollinger Band. I'm just gonna try this here. Yeah, basically what we look for overall is price hitting the upper band like this, with the break outside. So could be a wick or a bar outside. And then the next candlestick after that is going to be a bearish engulfing candle. Okay, I'll probably do a video on that in the future, like what is the best engulfing candle to look for, because there's many kind of types and people can confuse them sometimes, but that's what you will look for. Okay, engulfing, that's going to be kind of candlestick, and that is where basically you enter your trade. Okay, so stop loss above the high, you enter below the low, and reward to risk of 3-to-1. I do 3-to-1 and 1-to-1 of reward to risk. Okay, always. That's what I've tested to be the best for me with the pairs I trade, with the setup I take, with the zones I identify. And so that's just what I do. You could do something different. Again, this is not meant to be a one size fit all. You might trade something different. That's totally fine. Okay. But that's what I've been doing for the past 2-3 years. Okay. So basically we had no setup on this pair yet, because yeah, price would have to hit the upper band and it's not there yet, but we can see and look more for setup on this pair. Okay. Next pair is Euro CAD, which is also doing a setup on the weekly chart. As I said, I don't trade anything on the weekly chart, but that usually means that if we can look on setup on the low time frame, we'll have the kind of the alignment of both time frame, the weekly chart and on the low time frame. So that's kind of good in my opinion. And basically you look on the lower time frame for a break of the Bollinger Band, engulfing candle here at the Bollinger Band, and that will be your setup there. Okay, so a resistance at 1.55, or we bounced a few times in the past over kind of over here, over there, again over here. So pretty good zone in my opinion. Okay, the only thing you have to be careful here is because, or like earlier we were looking for bullish setup at this zone at 1.50. So you just have to be aware of this zone, in my opinion. It's not a big deal. Just be aware that price might reverse there, and that might be a good place to put some partial profit. So from what I see, okay, that's for your CAD. I might go through your question. Just want to verify that you guys are fine. I see we have Noel from France. What's up? Tommy, what's up? I will change. Hi, what's up? Jess, what's up? If you guys have any questions, just comment below in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions as I go through the other pairs. Euro GBP is the next pair we'll look at. This pair is at coming close to 191. It has some wicks there. This is what we call if I'm not mistaken, a tweezer. I have no I can't remember these names, but I think it's a tweezer. So like multiple wicks. It's a pretty good sign of reversal, but I just don't trade that. Okay, so I would prefer to wait for my engulfing candle and trade that engulfing candle instead. So far we had no setup there. I think price, make this bigger. Oh no. So no, we had no setup there so far. These are kind of lower probability ones, which you could take, but as you see, they would have been stepped out, most of them, or at least a break even based on my rules, and that's why I just don't take them. Okay. So that is it for Euro GBP. Yeah, but near a pretty cool zone. Okay. Euro USD, like we said last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm looking for now selling on this pair. Okay, because the fact that this was a support area, we broke below the low over here, and now it's turning to more a pullback area, like a resistance area. Okay, so I'm gonna look for bear trades at this level, like from here to where price go over here at 1.16, and that's or 1.17. That's my area to trade, basically to look for bearish trades. Okay, and I expect that this might not be right, but I expect a continuation to the downside on this pair. Okay, and you guys just know again, if you have different views of things, I totally understand. You can just let me know in the comment or in the chat, and I would appreciate it. It's just good to kind of interact and share. Okay. Yeah, that's it for it. I had a question from my students about GBP CAD, and the question was, I kind of want to show this here, it's pretty useful. The question was, this pair has been in a drawdown since 2015 of 9 trades. Okay, so 9 losing trades in a row since 2015. So there was no winning trade from 2015 to now. And the thing is, yeah, like 9 trades in 3 years, it's kind of bad, right? It's kind of not that much. And this pair, I didn't drop it because I always monitor like the performance of my pairs, but this one I didn't drop it because of the fact that it's been, what is this wrong? It should be GBP CAD. That's kind of weird. Okay, so I didn't drop this one because like it's always between 2 levels pretty much and not doing so much on the chart. And the trades we took in the past 3 years were really low. So I just don't think about it too much, and I'll wait to see. And 9 trades of a drawdown is not too bad for me. It's like pretty acceptable. When your win rate is like 40%, you gotta expect a couple of trades that are gonna be losers, okay, in a row. So to me, that's still fun. So that's it for the pair, but still between 2 zones. So not interesting trade at all. GPGPY is coming back to a support area at 136. Not quite there yet, but that's where I'll look for bullish setup on this pair based on this here, this move over here, over there. It's a pretty good level in my opinion. Okay, so I look for bullish setup there. We had one right over here. Okay, so if you were to trade during the holidays or just after the day after on the 3rd of January, we had a cool setup. So probably my algo took the trade because I was not trading back then because of the holidays. So look at what price did. So at the support we were looking for, price broke the low band of the Bollinger Band, engulfing candle. So you enter above the high, which we'll draw over here. You stop loss below the low. I would not do this low over here. It's kind of too ridiculous. I would do this low. Okay, it's just too big if you ask. So why not this low over here, which is like a rule, because it's kind of too wide. And the algo probably would have taken this low over there, but in those circumstances, I think it's kind of the wrong way to do it. So, and then take profit at 1-to-1, already triggered, I believe, and at 3-to-1. Okay, those are just approximation. I'm not like anything, but it's just to show you the principle and the the picture of the trade. Okay, and that's it. That you just leave it there. I don't touch anything from there, and the trade wouldn't fold. Okay, so far it's going good. And a lot of people ask whether I would put take profits at like support resistance areas, and I don't, because of the fact that if you look at this on a forward chart, it might seem big, but keep in mind we're trading this based on the weekly zone, and on the weekly chart that's like nothing, right? That's like there, so not much of a big move. When you can look for a move to the upside over here at 155. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I just leave them there and use these fixed take profit because I believe they're easier to manage, and I just feel better with those. Okay, so that is it for this pair. I'll get to questions soon. If you have any questions, guys, comment below in the chat or in the comment box below, and I'll answer after. But next pair is European ZD, which is also coming back over here to a support area 1.88. It's kind of messy a little bit because we broke, we came back above. Now we're here, kind of not doing much. And as to look for trades, I doubt we'll have trades, but it's still a pair to look at, in my opinion, because it's really choppy now. Like, look at this. It's really choppy on a 1 hour chart. Okay? But for now, we can still look for trades. The last pair we'll look at is USD CAD, which has done a really cool setup on the weekly chart. Okay, look at this, is pretty cool. And you want to enter, like, again, I don't trade this on the weekly chart, but you want to enter below the low, stop loss over here, and you are to risk of 31, which is a really big move. Okay, so that's why I don't trade the weekly chart. It's like too big of a move sometimes. And yeah, basically from there, you look for your trades, and yeah, on a low time frame. From here, I would maybe look for continuation trades of that big move over here. So you wait for a pullback. Like, just go on the forward chart, let's say. You wait for a pullback over here, and then you look for your surprise kind of hit the upper band somewhere here. That's where you look for your trades. And then to the downside. Okay, that's my bias. That's what I look for. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to look for this exact thing, but that's what I'm looking for. And I just want to share my experience and what I've done. But if you want to learn more about this stuff, there's going to be a link below to a course I've built. I just launched it the past week. We had over 5 people sign up for that course. It's totally free because I want to give you more value than people charge for on YouTube or everywhere online. All the coaches that like tell you that they're going to share the strategies for a big amount of money. I don't. I just share it and you learn, and that's it. Okay. Hopefully I can benefit you, and it's going to be there for you in the description below. Okay. So guys, I'll get to your comments or your questions. Let me just shift to this. I see we had a lot of people from Couscous. What's up? New Zealand. I love this. Awesome. Middle East, India. Cool. Do you think the USD GPY will go up a bit more? I see the Euro GPY being overbought. This was Tommy Plouffe. Yeah. It's not a pair I trade. I can have a quick look, and let me just shift this. Chicago, Chris, what's up? Nice. Okay, those are good questions. Mongolia, that's awesome. Maybe a place will visit soon. Not sure. Okay, we'll go to USD yeah. Oh. And by the way, keep in mind that I might share these charts. I look at them. I think I had it in my chart. Yeah, I had it here. The way I look at them is based on what I trade, based on my style. Okay, so I might look at a different way than you are looking at it. And that's the beauty of trading, that we all have different ways of seeing things. And different things we look for, different indicators, different price patterns. And that's where the beauty of trading is. Okay, so from here, the question was, you think the USDJPY will go up a bit more? And from here, well, it's hard to tell, right? So price came back down. This is the area I look for, so 105 as a support area. Price hit this. We have a pretty good sign that the buyers are in the market, right? But this was a flash crash anyway. And then from here, yeah, I'm looking for a move to the upside on this pair. But we have to be careful of this zone over here at 111. okay, because this is a zone where there's been some moves in the past. Okay, a previous support could turn into a resistance area. It's in between, so it's not a major zone. Okay, so that's the thing to keep in mind. But price could definitely reverse there. Okay, at this zone over here, and now we're still far a little bit. Okay, this is a pretty big picture view of the market of this pair. But yeah, two zones to look at are here 114 and 105, and in between it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, it's kind of going back and forth, and I cannot tell more than that overall. Okay, so, and then you can look at other pairs if you want, but I don't think it's that useful. Someone asked about the Nasdaq, which I don't trade at all, so I'm not going to talk about it at all. I don't think I'm qualified to talk about the Nasdaq for now, but yeah. Thank you, Chris. Says I religiously watch your channel. Love all your vids. That's awesome. I appreciate. And yeah, guys, that's about it for the review. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for like 1 or 2 minutes more. I have a little bit of time before I leave. But yeah, if anyone has any recommendation to travel in Asia, I would be happy to hear them. I'm going on a trip pretty soon to Asia. I'm going to be in Bangkok in a couple of days. And I kind of want to know where to go next. I've done a lot of countries, as you might know, in Asia. And I'm wondering like which one I pick next and not go back on the old countries I've been to. Although they're really cool. So I'm not sure yet. But if you guys have any recommendation, I know Mongolia could be cool. Any recommendation of countries in Asia to visit, I would appreciate you. And I would appreciate your thoughts on that. We'll try to do Australia too. Australia would be really nice. But I'm not sure at all. Okay. And again, you can get the course, which is going to be a link below. Just check that. Yeah, it's linked there below. So everything is good. We're good to go. Mongolia. Nice. Bart says, do it Mongolia. Okay, that's cool. Chris, that's a good question. Chris says, I see you using Bongjiben. What are your thoughts on the double Bongjiben strategy? I tried it really long time ago, like 3-4 years ago, and it didn't really work for me. Okay, so maybe I wasn't applying it right. Maybe it's not the right context. I didn't know about the context then, the market context, the trends, the sideways market. So maybe I got like crushed in the sideways market, but I have no clue. So I would say test it out yourself if you want. I know some people doing that and it works great for them, but for me it didn't really work. So can't really tell others. But the principle is good. The overall framework of the strategy is, I think, good. It makes sense. It's like you look for trends. It's kind of the opposite of Wong that the way I trade. It's like you look for trends at the extreme as opposed to reversals. Okay, so could be good to trade. I don't know. Interesting. Legum says you speak other languages. Yeah, French and a little bit of Mandarin from traveling. But that's about that. Yeah. What's up, Armodi? Fair enough. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Couscous, fixed day profit versus trailing stops. Really good question. So here's the thing. The problem with trailing stop. Yeah, I was gonna talk about something else. Okay, trailing stop. I used to use them before, and you gotta understand when do trailing stop work. Okay, so trailing stop, in my opinion, from what I've seen in the past, work really well when the price is trending, because like it makes some highs. You can variously move your stop loss to a new high or a new low or whatever. Okay, it's easy to move because like price moves in one direction, so you can put your stop loss to some place. Now that's good for trending markets, but in what I trade, the sideways market, I've seen this to be pretty bad, because like price is often going to come in some range, and it might come back a couple of times before it reaches take profit. Okay, so I used to move my stop loss all the time, putting it to break even when I took my first take profit, and that has for effect of like having a lot of break even trades. Okay, a lot of them, and they would be just stopped out and then move in the right direction after, because they would be stopped out at break even. So I stopped doing it, and I realized that the results were better, and that there was less break even trades. Ultimately, it comes down to, I think, how much risk you want to have. There's definitely more risk with not moving your stop loss, right? But in all cases, I think It depends what you trade. If there's less risk, if you're really risk averse, or like you cannot stand too many losing trades, then yeah, do it. It's gonna be better. Okay, but understand that it might hurt your profit, and it might not be the best for your style. And then fixed take profit, in my opinion, is easier because like you put them, you leave them, and that's it. Okay. And then the other thing with that is you could have a like no take profit, only a trade stop, and again that's gonna work really well in trending markets in like one big trend, as opposed to like trends and pullbacks, because pullbacks can be tough and they can stop you out. So I wouldn't see why you would use that in a and especially not in a sideways market. How much capital is enough to live on trading forex alone? I just recorded a video this morning about that topic, exact same topic, about how much you need or how much money. What was the title? Let's see. Title was how much money do you need to trade forex? The capital requirement, and that's gonna be published in a few days. But basically, it depends on a lot of factors. Depends on what income you need, what your goals are income wise, what like you have to think about what we call your freedom amount, your freedom number. So your freedom number is like the amount of money you need to make to do whatever you want, which could be travel, you could be living in any country, what exactly you want to have. And I would recommend trading full time without having that freedom amount, because like it's like you could be free on $4,000 a month, for example, and you make right, $2,000 a month. Well, that's like you're missing something, right? Because you're gonna be glued to a city or glued to I don't know, like your parents' house or whatever, and that means that you cannot kind of live freely. So I wouldn't be doing it in that case. I would be saving some money to invest more in your account. Now, if you are in America in general, like or in just a Western country, I think you need 50K minimum to trade full time. Okay, and to be comfortable on that. You could do it with less if you have multiple ways of making money. You definitely need less, but if you want to make it really comfortable and not too much stress, and being able to do whatever you want to do at whatever time you want to do it, that means taking a flight like any day you want, going to country any day you want, visiting people any day you want, and not working at all. That's gonna be like $50,000 on average, I think. But it could vary, of course. If you're in like some people were, I believe, in India, that doesn't apply there. That's gonna be different. There's gonna be a different game of money there. But yeah, annual profit target in percentage. I don't have any kind of target. I just get what the market gives me, but I do have some goals to work on things that I can control. So like automation strategies, developing things. Those are my goals, and those are my targets. Yeah. So that answers Umar and Couscous, I think. So yeah, guys. The thing is, like, you could set income, like the outcome goals if you want. So results goal, you could do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're starting out, you could set. But I got to a point where even for me, trading is like it's like in addition to what I already do. So it's like I don't need that income to live, and I don't really count on a percentage to live either. So if I make like 20% a year versus like 80% or 50%, it doesn't make a difference. It's like for me, it's like money I grow over time, and that just gets better and better over the years. So I see it this way. But if you see it as like you need this to live, then yeah, or if you're just starting out, you want to set a goal of income to get in the year, you could do it. Just keep in mind that goals we set, and especially outcome goals, usually take longer than we thought to achieve them, than we think to achieve them. Okay, so you said like I want to make $100,000 a year trading. It might take you, and you want to make this like this year. It might take you through 3 years, and that's just the process. That's fine. You can't be down on yourself because you didn't reach your goals. A lot of the goals I set like last year or 2 years ago, yeah, like 2 years ago, I achieved them like this the past year, 2018. And if I were down on myself because I didn't reach them the first year, guess what? I would not have progressed, right? So you want to be careful about what goals you set and the timeline you set for yourself. They won't be achievable all the time, and that's fine. Because like in the end, what matters is not the goal you reach, It's not like how fast you reach your goals, more like how, like what goals you reach, right? So if it takes 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter, because when you're there, you're happy and you got your goals, and that's rewarding in itself. Okay. So on these wisdom note, I appreciate you guys. Comment below to touch any question after the video's live. I will answer for sure. And get the course built. It's gonna be pretty useful, I believe. And we have some really cool things coming up this year, 2019. I appreciate you once again. And I'll catch you back here in another video tomorrow. Alright, ciao.